First off, I had to start off the video with this shirt, this Avengers shirt. Since we are talking about the conclusion of Endgame, I just feel like I just gotta give this shirt a personal shout out. This is an awesome shirt. Let's get into the review. Holy mackerel! Spider-Man Far From Home, man, is a new movie directed by John Watts, and this is the 23rd installment in the MCU, and this movie takes place immediately after Endgame. And this movie revolves around Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Peter Parker. He goes on a trip to Europe, and he wants to spend time with the girl of his dreams, MJ, who's being played by Zendaya. All he wants to do is tell her how he feels and have a great vacation, but all of that is interrupted when Nick Fury and Maria Hill gives him a new assignment, which is take care of the elementals and help Mysterio along the way. And he does this mission while balancing his real life of school and his vacation while doing hero work, and we have the movie Spider-Man Far From Home. I really enjoyed this movie. Like going into this movie, I had expectations. I didn't really admire Homecoming, but I still appreciate it. I still gave it a positive rating on my channel, but the more I watched it, it kind of declined. But after watching Far From Home, the experience just like uplifted my soul. On the first 20 minutes I had a little bit of a rocky start. From the traditional MCU jokes. That's the kind of jokes where you're just scratching your head, and then there are times where there's characters will focus on the specific joke and just play along with that joke for a long period of time.
We're going through the big one.
The devil's anus.
Anus? Wait, who's anus?
I'm asking for safe passage through the anus.
There's a couple of times it does that in this movie, but after that 20-minute mark, that's when the movie picks itself up and the movie gets intense. There wasn't a slow moment in this movie. Although after that 20-minute mark, this movie became intense, became funnier, and also it became a grand adventure. Now, looking back at the cream of the crop, let's talk about Tom Holland's Spider-Man. To be honest, I thought that Tom Holland's performance improved from his performance in Homecoming. So one thing I like about this movie, the writing did a really good job of elevating Tom Holland's performance. He did more with his character, a lot more. Not on a physical standpoint, but on an emotional standpoint. One of the things I criticized this new Spider-Man is I felt like that Peter Parker was more of just an Iron Lad. A guy who was just trying to become the next Tony Stark. In Homecoming, the film's primary focus was making sure Peter Parker becomes just as good as a hero as Iron Man. The film never took a step where he could become his own hero. Far From Home, this movie took his character arc and took it straight out of the comics, and they applied that character arc to Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And let's break down Tom Holland's Peter Parker character arc for this movie specifically. In this movie, his primary focus is to tell MJ his primary goal, is to tell her how he feels. All he wants to do is just to be a kid and focus on his vacation. The film acknowledges that he is a 16-year-old boy, not a superhero. And one of the most compelling character arcs with Spider-Man is he always has that trouble of balancing that life between superhero work and his normal life. But his responsibilities always outweighs his playtime, and that's a huge conflict with Spider-Man's character, and that is a huge conflict that Tom Holland's Peter Parker goes through in this movie, and that particularly is one of the things I admire with his character arc in this movie, because his character arc is relatable. Also, the legacy of Tony Stark also pressures Peter Parker in this movie as well. He has this inner urge to continue the legacy of Tony Stark. He is not Tony Stark. He is not Iron Man. He is his own hero. He is his own person. He has to discover who he really is in this movie. Tom Holland wasn't the only one who had a good performance. Zendaya had a good performance as well. She did a better job playing MJ than she did in Homecoming, because in Homecoming I felt like she was just there just to be there.
Why are you here? You don't even have detention.
Oh, I know. I just like coming here to sketch people in crisis.
But in this one, you actually felt like she was a real character. And the film does a really good job of mixing in the romance and the action sequences put together. There's like a couple other characters that like fall in love in this movie, and I feel like that their romance, that was one of the main points of this movie, but still was able to deliver an entertaining film with intense action sequences. And speaking of the action sequences, John Watts did a really good job with the action sequences. I felt like John Watts did a lot more, and the action sequences felt intense, and I was at the edge of my seat. Now we're getting closer to the surface. Jake Gyllenhaal, he played Mysterio, and I don't want to bring up details of his character because if I do, it will be spoiler territory. So here's what I'm going to do. So those of you who are watching my video and know who Mysterio is a supervillain in the comics. He is the master of illusion, but the marketing for Mysterio, they have Mysterio as a superhero. And Jake Gyllenhaal was a standout as Mysterio. Like, all I gotta say is that he killed it as Mysterio, and this is Mysterio you would love. And if you are a big fan of Mysterio from the comics, you will love this Mysterio in this movie. Spider-Man Far From Home hit me an emotional level because all I want in a Spider-Man movie is a Spider-Man movie that is close, that is similar to the comics. So the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was similar to the comics. Well, not the Spider-Man because it wasn't dropping wisecracking jokes, but him being nerdy, him being a sort of loser, you know, not fitting in, standing out. It was close to Peter Parker in the comics. Andrew Garfield, I felt like he had too much swag for the character. But Tom Holland, I did feel like he's like the perfect blend of both. Tom Holland does a good job of showcasing how nerdy he is. And also Tom Holland brings a charm to his character. He is very likable and a little bit innocent in a way. And it made me just feel like this is probably the best Spider-Man performance of Tom Holland I have seen since Tobey Maguire. As for the story and plot, I found myself captivating and wanting more. I didn't find myself bored, not for 1 minute. And also there was like a twist within the third act that I didn't see coming. And also there is a couple end credit scenes you must see. And the ending of this movie is like, it's just, this movie like totally like did like a 360 in 1 second. During that 5-second span, the movie just shifts, and it just makes me so excited for what's to come in phase 4 and excited for the next Spider-Man movie. But without a doubt, this movie is the best live action Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2. And for that, I'm going to give Spider-Man Far From Home my highest rating that the channel can offer. Batman-tastic. And make sure you stay for the end credits. I mean, you should know this by now. You should know. So make sure you stay for the end credits because there's 2 end credit scenes. And like I said, the last 5 seconds, there is an appearance. And it would just blow you away. Trust me. Trust me. You will be amazed. And this is a really good movie. And you will get your money's worth. So, have you seen Spider-Man Far From Home? Whenever you do, comment below and give me your thoughts and let's talk about it. And what is your favorite Spider-Man movie? And what is your favorite MCU film? Comment below and I'll talk to you very soon, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And check out my review for Annabelle Comes Home. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I want to let you guys know you are the best, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I will have more Batman-tastic reviews in a way. You are far from home. Till then, ciao.